My name's Zio, and welcome once again to another Coffee with Zio. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know how this works. This is a more freeform, unscripted, podcasty sort of thing that we like to do around this time each month. This is where we discuss the current state of NGS, as well as let you know what else I've been up to. There's not going to be much in the way of supporting visuals here, so go ahead and throw this sucker on while you do dailies or household chores or whatever it is you do. We'll start off with what everyone's been buzzing about as of late, Kvaris. This is definitely a step in the right direction, and it's no secret this game has had its share of growing pains this past year. We'll be examining this update on 3 categories: presentation, story, and gameplay. Presentation-wise, once again, they did a really good job here. They definitely nailed the perilous winter wonderland vibe here. The music here also has a nice calming wintry vibe to it. Well done. The main town area, the Cavaris camp, definitely captures that essence of remote outpost manned by a skeleton crew of researchers. These guys have been busy beavers apparently. They're actually trying to solve some of the mysteries of this planet rather than just be like, oh, it's been this way for generations. They did an excellent job with the presentation here, from the environment to the music, so I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10. Okay, now on to the story. This has always been one of the game's most glaring weaknesses, and this is one area where the Japanese players have really hammered SEGA. One of the shortcomings here is that it is, well, short. We did, however, learn a lot here. That, and they really stepped up the production value on the story cutscenes. They have definitely stepped up their game between here and Alio. The fight scenes were really fun here, especially the final story boss. I really enjoyed watching the sibling dynamics, and the ending was heartwarming as well. I give the story a solid 8 out of 10. It would have been higher if it were a little bit longer. So, now on to gameplay. This is going to include non-combat elements as well as class skills. They added some really nice quality of life changes here. They brought back the treasure shop from base PSO2. Being part of an alliance also feels meaningful again with the alliance tasks and the badge shop. We also got the quest counter, which lets us replay old story quests. That's really going to come in handy for when I need B-roll for future lore videos. As for the floating boards, the controls take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not so bad once you get the hang of it. I also like the overall concept behind Rayord Gorge. Between the cold damage and the fact all the mobs in there are level 64, you can tell that place means business. It also doesn't hurt that it's one of the most beautiful areas in the game, in my opinion. As far as classes go, I feel like everyone received some really nice skills. So if you've been with the channel for a while and you've been coming to the streams the past few months, you'll know that I've been playing a lot of Tekker. As you know, Tekkers have struggled in the offensive department and they've had to rely on jet boots to make up for that. That 4th normal hits pretty hard and has guard frames on top of that. Even crazier with wand lovers active. Oh, and let me tell you about Talus too. The new skills make tricky capacitor fill up so much faster. That, coupled with spread shot, is so cracked during PSE bursts. You fire off a few spread shots and that meter's full like 2 seconds later. It is so batshit crazy. They really did fix some glaring issues with both weapons here, so I'm happy. I think Tekker has become one of my favorite classes now. In Alio I didn't really care much for it, but then really started to warm up to it in Retem. So gameplay gets a solid 9 out of 10. All around, I'd give this a solid 9 out of 10. They're learning from their mistakes, and they seem to be applying that knowledge with every successive update. This does feel like a more complete package than the Retem update did. I don't think it's really going to hit its stride until the volcano in December though, but we're on the right track. It took base PSO2 a couple years to really hit its stride with episode 3. It's what I've been saying over the past year as someone who's been with the game through pretty much every stage of its life. It'll take a while for this thing to hit its stride, but I feel our patience will be rewarded in the end. This coming from a guy who wasn't even going to touch base PSO2 initially. I always had a weird relationship with base PSO2 and always found myself coming back to it. So what else have I been up to? Well, waiting for more people's impressions of Kvaris to add to the anniversary tribute script. Then I'll start recording voiceover on that sucker. We're almost halfway through June, so I'll really be getting my ass in gear on that sucker. Because of that, you're not going to see too much in the way of uploads this month. Now for you Ninja Turtle fans like myself, there's that new beat 'em up called Shredder's Revenge. It has 6-player co-op too. Myself and a couple other PSO2 streamers have discussed a possible co-stream of that game. We'll see. Of course, it's got the 4 turtles, plus April, Casey, and Splinter as playable characters. So now I ask you, my friends, what are your thoughts on Kvaris? You digging it so far? You know how much I love chopping it up with you guys in the comments section and on the streams. Twitch.tv/Zeomantic. Come on by and hang out sometime. We'd love to have you. As always, thank you so much for watching and for the continued support. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, to thine own self be true. Until next time, farewell.